Welcome to T3 Live's Daily Market Sit Rep. On the option side of the house, Matthew Buckley, the Chief Option Strategist at the new T3 Live. And some news from across the Pacific. One of the deputy governors over there in the Bank of Japan, kind of a little more upbeat. I don't know if he's rearranging the deck chairs on the back of the Titanic, but, Kuroda and this gentleman, Awada here, trying to raise the flag and say, hey, the April sales tax hike, it might have come in a little rougher than we expected, even though we've been saying for months that it really hasn't had any impact. Not necessarily the case, but we really feel great. It's like Animal House. We really think our midterm grades will really help our average. And Dean Wormer obviously laughs. So don't know if I necessarily believe these guys, but I do believe that they're either going to succeed or die trying. I mean, here's a historic first. The Bank of Japan is actually monetizing debt at a negative rate, making the ECB just look like a bunch of idiots running around with their near rip, right? NIRP. And now Japan has also begun that, but at a negative yield for the first time in history, which is pretty crazy. So bottom line, Bank of Japan is now implicitly issuing debt to the Japanese Treasury. Pretty interesting. Down south, we have a lot of positions, long-term bullish positions on Brazil. Did a great job with the World Cup. Not so much getting defeated and decimated by Germany, but actually with hosting the World Cup, got the Olympics. It is Latin America's largest economy. Have an election coming up here with, looks like Rousseff might take it on the chin. But Moody's cut outlooks major banks to negative from stable. A couple weeks ago, they officially announced that they're in a recession, but I'm still going to hold my long-term bullish positions on Brazil. I have a bunch of synthetic stock and also long call diagonals. Even with this kind of negativism, I just don't think Brazil's rolling over anytime soon. I've been to the country twice in the past couple of years for speeches that I gave, and just a great people, great natural resources. It is a kind of a mini United States down there. And I'm not saying that to be a jingoistic or hey, we're number one type of thing. I'm saying that in the fact that they have a lot of organic natural resources and industry, and it is a vibrant economy that I would be bullish on down south. Report that came out yesterday, I believe it was, from the Federal Reserve. This is really troubling to me. This is a big canary in the coal mine. Small business ownership in America is at an all-time low. Small business ownership in America fell substantially between 2010 and 2013. Anybody want to take a guess at that? Well, corporate how much did GE, how much did Apple, how much did Facebook pay in federal taxes last year? Not a nickel, not even a penny. Okay. However, for example, me as a small business owner paid about 40%. How is it fair when a company prints money, loans money to God? That's how much money they're making, and ain't paying any taxes on it. The government's got to go somewhere to collect some revenue, and they're doing it on the backs of small businesses. As an S corp, as a flow through, guess what, man? I am getting obliterated with taxes by our government to pay for our border security. Oh, wait a minute. To pay for fighting ISIS. Oh, wait. Maybe we're thinking about doing that. I don't know where our money's going, folks, to be honest with you. A lot of entitlement programs, but I will tell you that the government letting huge corporations skate on tax bills is just crazy. What I say is completely reform the tax system and corporate tax America. But this is a main reason is our tax system. And a lot of folks, in order to build wealth, middle-class Americans either need to have their own businesses or they need good jobs. Well, we know what the jobs picture looks like, folks, and people who want to start their small businesses are being tamped down. And we know that the income gap between the extremely wealthy and the rest of us in this country is growing wider. Okay, so this is, I'm actually going to try and track down a copy of this report and read the guts underneath us, or what's underneath this, but this is a good read. Make sure you go to Zero Hedge and give this a read. And finally, Unless you were in a cave yesterday, you know that Apple came out with its boldest bet yet, the new iPhone, the Apple Watch, wearable technology, but also a mobile payment system. I got to tell you, folks, they're making a pretty big gamble here that people are going to pay more for some of their things like this watch, where Samsung, Google, a lot of folks haven't been able to monetize this at all. And the mobile payments system is only 2.5% of this multi-billion dollar industry. Mobile payments really haven't caught on, folks. It creeps me out. I'd rather pull out a credit card and swipe it. But Apple's making the bet that they can replace the wallet. Maybe eventually, but that mindset shift ain't going to happen overnight. And the fact that they're going to ask you to pay more again for a bigger iPhone, I don't know. It's a race that, Samsung, I'm looking at my Galaxy S5 here. It does everything in Apple do, but better, in my opinion. These handsets are kind of a race to the bottom. They're like the airline industry to me. These things are becoming commoditized. If I'm American and I, fare sale, Miami to New York for $200. Oh yeah, well I'm United and I'll do that route for 150. Well, I'm JetBlue and I'll do it for $99. It's a race to the bottom with this type of technology. And as we know in the airline industry, that model just don't work. Okay, trying to bankrupt the other dude not only bankrupts them but you along the way. So it's a bold bet that people are just and they can bet on it because I guarantee you if I go by the Apple store, I'm in Dallas today giving a speech. If I go by the Apple Dallas store, I guarantee you there's people in tents sleeping out there. They have their core group of Trekkies. I get it. But a guy like me who, as long as it does what it needs to do, I want to pay the lowest price possible. And I'd say that's the majority of people. Getting to the trading side of the house, Apple is very dangerously close to its 50-day moving average. Okay, and that's bad. I am going to get bullish at this point. I'm getting ready to do my Top Gun Options Accelerated Retirement live trade brief here in a little bit, and I have a bullish double vertical on Apple that is up in this portfolio about. Well, we're flopping around the market just open here about, let's use round numbers, 300%. Okay, so I am going to get very bullish here on Apple. I don't think we break this 50-day moving average. I think we use it as a bounce. Recently in the past, as we've even gotten close to the 50-day moving average, it's been used as a buy signal. Okay, so and obviously. Pre-earnings, it was floating around that. So I am going to get bullish in my live trading session on Apple. Here's a Bank of Japan trade up $2,000. Well, not Bank of Japan trade, EWJ, a trade on the on Japan that we're going to talk to. A lot of good stuff. Long-term bullish on China. We got some Brazil trades in here that I'm going to be looking at. XLK, XLF, the GLD, the FXI, AIG, some Lululemon, and some good stuff. So I got to run. Let me jump in here and do my my live training session for today. Make sure you check your email because this time next week we're going to be doing a live training session. The first one for T3 Live from the options side of the house. So we're going to teach you how to potentially trade weekly options, which are shorter based tactical trades, but also longer term options. If you are long-term bullish on Apple, but short-term neutral to maybe even bearish based on what they did yesterday, I'm going to show you a tactic where you can be bipolar. You can be long-term bullish on Apple, but you can be short-term neutral to bearish. Okay? So happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Have a great day, and I'll be back with Thursday's Market Sit Rep. We'll see you.